Yes, it's UKC, back at a trade show, and this year I'm in a tent. This one happens to be the Nemo Dagger Ridge Osmo. It's a very nice tent. It's actually 20% bigger than its predecessor and is only 1.57 kilograms. This tent has really been designed for wet weather with a 3,000mm hydrostatic head on both the floor and the outer skin of the tent. The attention to detail can be seen brilliantly in this junction where all the elements of the tent meet. It's just refined and detailed, and everything just fits and works perfectly. A feature that we really like in this tent is this lifted vestibule. They've raised the whole side of the tent so they can get what Nemo call is a landing zone in. This is actually a really good idea. You can basically put a rucksack in and not get your socks and stuff wet in the bottom of your bag overnight. Sort of simple, but yet again, just a nice clean bit of design from Nemo. There's some features on this tent that show that Nemo are starting to take the European and British market more seriously. Traditionally, we've seen a mesh style inner on Nemo tents, which are great if you're in really dry, low humidity environments. Here in the UK, it's pretty wet a lot of the time, and actually Nemo on the ridge here have changed the mesh for just sort of a classic nylon liner inside. It'll mean that it'll just deal with moisture and wet and rain better when you're sleeping inside it. And we're in Britain, so we get a lot of wet, rainy moisture. When it comes to using recycled materials and recycling products themselves, Nemo is leaps and bounds in front of many on the market. This tent uses Nemo's Osmo fabric. Osmo fabric is 100% recycled. It's PFC free and is incredibly strong for its weight. The Dagger Ridge Osmo is available next spring and is definitely worth a look. It is at the pinnacle of two-man tents and has an amazing feature set.
We're here with Therm-a-Rest, where I have been put inside a warm sleeping bag on an extremely warm and comfortable sleeping mat. We're going to talk about the Neo Loft first, which is the sleeping mat. And this is kind of the love child of a Mondo King, their thickest and most comfortable mattress, and the Neo Air X Lite, which is their lightest weight sleeping mattress. So perhaps the most amazing thing about this is its pack size. Considering it is 11.7 centimeters deep, it packs down to an impressively small size and weighs just 850 grams. It's got an R rating of 4.7 compared to the Neo Air X Lite 4.5, so it's suitable for kind of spring, summer, autumn, 3-season camping. Now, a part of the reason to sit on it now is to demonstrate its comfort, and this is supremely comfortable. That 11.7 centimeter depth feels fantastic. And another thing is, when you lie down on it, you can feel the edges coming up. So you're not going to rock or roll off to either side. And because you've got so much depth, if you're a side sleeper, you can do so on your side and it still provides adequate cushioning. And the final thing is the material that it's made of. That stretch knit technology has a really nice soft feel to it. When it comes to the sleeping bag, this is the Boost. And this also fits within their backpacking comfort collection. So it's for those who are looking for a little bit more luxury and potentially not the lightest weight kit that is out there. Now, as a result of this, it comes with a few features which add to that comfort. And the first is this central zip. Now, this can be undone to give you a more rectangular, spacious bag, or it can be done up to boost the temperature up by 5 degrees. The other feature, which you'll notice by the fact that you can see my arms, is the zips up the side. This is a really handy feature on those cold nights when you're cooking, because it means you don't have to get out of your sleeping bag entirely. Other than that, it features all of the high quality materials you'd expect, such as 650 fill goose down, a good hood, zip up the side, and everything else you'd require. When it comes to stove systems, MSR have the reactor for mountaineers, the wind burner for hill walkers and backpackers, but those two products are still quite specialist when it comes to actually cooking. Now, the Switch that we've got here is definitely much more of an all-rounder. You do have that stove system, but you've also got the ability to switch it so that you can use your standard pots and pans instead. First up, you've got the pot, which is 600 milliliters. It comes with a lid you can drink out of, and it also acts as a sieve as well. Now, when it comes to usability, you've got the nice handle here, so it's easy to pour. And you've also got the cork koozie or cozy, we're not sure which again makes it easier to handle. You're not going to burn your fingers whilst you're touching it. Now, one of the first things you notice with this as well is the bottom. It's a hemispherical pot. Now, this is good because it allows you to get an even cook throughout, but it's also good because there's no edges, so you can get all of the food from the bottom with your spork. Now, when it comes to the stove, the pot sits perfectly on top of it, but if you're looking to use a standard pot or pan, you can push these out and you've got a nice solid base for those two. It's also got a piezo igniter, so you don't have to bring matches or a lighter. These retail at £135, which represents good value considering all you're getting within the kit. And they'll be out in spring, summer 2025. Last year, Rab announced the launch of their Hypersphere sleeping mat, which was the lightest within their collection. Now this year at OTS, they have announced the launch of their warmest, the Hypersphere. So these mats are designed with cold climates in mind, and there are two within the collection. The Hypersphere Ultra 7.5 and the Hypersphere 9.5. The Hypersphere Ultra 7.5 has an R value of 7.3, which is, in layman's terms, really pretty warm. And these both have down within them, and that's the crucial element to keeping you warm. Now, Rab come from a rich heritage of down products. Rab Carrington, with his early down jackets, was revolutionary within the mountaineering market. The Hypersphere Ultra 7.5 features 800 fill power down, so is super high quality and is lightweight as a result. Comes in 610 grams. Now, the Hypersphere 9.5 is a chunkier monkey. It comes in at 840 grams. And whereas the Hypersphere Ultra 7.5 is designed with maybe lightweight backpacking, the Hypersphere 9.5 is maybe designed for use closer to the car. It's definitely a wee bit heavier, but is also a significant amount warmer. It comes in with an R value of 9.5, which is ridiculously warm, especially when coupled with a substantially sized sleeping bag. And when it comes to comfort, a part of that comes down to depth. These are respectively 10 and 8 centimeters thick, which is really thick. But there's other features such as the differentiation between the chamber size used. Now in the middle, it's quite small. Now at the edge, it's larger and slightly taller. And the reason for this is so that you don't end up rolling off of the edge of your sleeping mat in the night. These come with both a stuff sack and a pump sack, so you don't have to blow into them with your mouth and get out of breath. It's a really nice, quick, easy and simple way to inflate. These will be available in spring, summer 25 and are available in a regular, a wide and a long, so there's plenty of options. And for the regular in the 7.5 it's £200, and for the regular in the 9.5 it's £210. Sea Summit have been developing a new and more sustainable sleeping bag and sleeping mat sleep system with the Pursuit Plus and the Hamlin. The Pursuit is the lightest full-length self-inflating sleeping mat on the market, coming in at 592 grams. The Pursuit is the 3-season mat. It comes in at 5 centimeters thickness compared to the Pursuit Plus, which is the 4-season mat, and that comes in at a more luxurious 8. But I don't actually know whether that's 8 centimeters or not. These are the world's first solution-dyed sleeping mat. So that means that they require 80% less water to create and also have a lower carbon footprint. They also feature a recycled material on the outer too. It's recycled, claimed standard certified, as well as Blue Sign. And this means it just adds credibility to those claims. You know this is a genuinely more sustainable product. The Pursuit has all those neat features that Sea Summit are known for, such as the valve. Now the valve has that one-way inflate mode, but reverse it, when you're deflating, it doesn't automatically try to re-inflate again, which is great and makes it much easier to actually pack up. And the fact that it comes with a taco style bag as opposed to a small stuff sack means it's really easy to fit back in as well. The pack size of these is also impressively small for a self-inflated mat, although it's worth remembering self-inflated mats perform best when you store them actually inflated, storing them flat, because that's what they remember to do. That's when you stuff them up and use them again camping, they'll reinflate much better than if you'd store them stuffed when they're just used to being stuffed. So the Hamlin sleeping bag comes in a men's and a women's model and comes in a -1 and a -9 model. These feature recycled materials throughout, both on the outer, the lining and the fill on the inside. Again, they're typically Sea Summit in terms of their feature set. They're very much designed with usability in mind, and all of the features are obvious courtesy of the color coding. So down the side here, you've got one zip going to the halfway point, which is useful if you want to get your arms out without actually having to exit the sleeping bag as a whole. You've got a full length zip down the side here, and you also have a third zipper along the base as well, which you can use to vent your feet if you've got sweaty feet. Another feature is the hood. Now, every sleeping bag these days has a hood, but the Sea to Summits are quite generously sized so that you can actually wrap up warm within them, but also fit one of their pillows within it too, which is just the ultimate in camping luxury. The collection will be out in spring/summer 25, and we'll be reviewing it on UK Climbing and UK Hill Walking once it's available. One of the best developments in recent years and one of the major developments at this trade show has been sleeping mats, and the fact that they're that bit warmer and more comfortable than ever before, which is great for us because it's really comfy to sleep on. So the Nemo Tensor that we have here features the highest warmth to weight rating on the market. It's got an R value of 8.5, and in its regular size comes in at a minimalist 505 grams. It's also worth mentioning, for those who like the creature comfort, that you've got the options of various differing sizes and models. So you've got the regular wide, we've got here, the regular, a mummy, or a long and wide model for those people who are exceptionally tall or wide. In real terms, in terms of pack size, this equates to, oh, I caught it. About that. When it comes to inflating it, it comes with its own pump sack, and the valve is one way, so you have the option of either inflate or deflate. So when it comes to those numbers, the R value of 8.5 and those 505 grams mean a lot in terms of just weight and warmth. But when it comes to comfort, it's worth mentioning that this is 9 centimeters deep, and it's also nice and quiet too. There's none of that weird crisp packety rustling when you do roll over. When it comes to availability, these are out now, and the regular is £250, with each of the other variations costing just a different amount of money.